I am here with my great friend, Kelly Burnham. Kelly Newman to me, though. I've known Kelly for a long, long time. We were neighbors, and then we grew up together. She is the owner of Flying Lotus Yoga and Juice Bar, and I'm so happy to have her here today. And I'm so glad she agreed to do this podcast and blog. Welcome, Kelly.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to chat today about alternative business strategies during this wonderful season that we're in right now, as well as I am so excited to talk about aerial yoga.
Good.
Totally wish I was closer so I could be going to some of those classes.
I'm launching my first online aerial class on Friday.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So, yeah. So we'll have some people with hammocks at home. A few of my students have hammocks at home already. Most do not. So we'll have a lot of modifications for people who don't have a hammock.
So let's back up a little bit. When did you have the interest and develop a passion for yoga?
Forever ago. I was about 25 when I was first introduced to yoga. A good friend of mine, we were both teaching at Canton school. She was the health teacher, and I was teaching in 4th grade. I had 2 preschool kids. My husband traveled, and I was always stressed. So to relieve stress, I started running, I started lifting weights, and it was every single thing I did just contributed to more stress in my life. And she said to me one day, Kelly, why don't you just do some yoga? And I laughed at her and I thought, I don't want that. I don't want any of that nonsense. You know, that's too woo for me. So when was that? Like 1995, maybe?
Well, in 95, that's when I started learning about yoga too. And I remember even in 95, it was still considered woo.
Yeah, really out there.
Yeah, really out there. That was actually a religious practice. And yeah.
Yes. I listened to her. I bought a CD, or I guess it was a VHS at that time.
I got them too.
And I tried it and I thought, this is nothing, you know, like I'm not even getting my heart rate up. I'm not even sweating. And that was my idea of an exercise. You know, if I wasn't sweating, then I wasn't doing anything.
Right.
But she kept on me and I kept at it. And eventually, a few years later, we had our 3rd child, and I was still doing it at that time once or twice a week, really just looking for weight loss or a way to stay in shape, you know?
Yeah.
And now when I look back, I see pictures of me doing yoga with the baby. And then as she became a toddler, and it was somewhere around that time that there was this shift, like it became something that helped me, you know, it helped me maybe to feel centered. Through yoga, I eventually, you know, really got a handle on my anxiety. I was medicated for chronic anxiety, social anxiety, and just this overwhelming feeling of panic all the time.
Yeah. Can you hold on just a second?
Sure.
Sorry. John! I am seriously podcasting! I'll edit all that out.
No, leave it in. Isn't that like the way we live right now?
But they're out there debating at like volume 10. What the heck, man? I'm podcasting
to work here.
on my door. He walked by and saw me talking to you. And they're right. This would be, I might leave it in because it's funny.
And it's real. It's real life.
Okay, so please continue.
Okay.
So you were struggling with anxiety after pregnancy, and we're looking for ways to just find a center, probably.
Yeah, some grounding, some way to really feel like I could take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You know, and there were days when, you know, that shallow breathing and you're just breathing to live. You're not really taking a breath. You're not really soaking it all in, but you're just living at that
surface.
Everything's a reaction. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where I was. Everything was like a gut reaction. I was hospitalized for adrenal fatigue. I was in the hospital for about a week. And through yoga, through breathing, I've got that all, under control. I'll say that with air quotes, because it's not like it just goes away, or like all of a sudden I'm fine. There are days where I still really have to think, and I have to, yesterday was one, and I felt like that pressure in my chest, like, what's going on? I just feel so anxious. Oh, right, I feel anxious. So I got on my mat, and I thought I'd take a quick video. Can we hold on just one sec?
Yep.
Okay. Hello.
Resume recording. No, not at all. As a matter of fact, people really want to see real people, especially at this time. And I think the fact that you're sharing about anxiety, I started developing it right after the birth of Christopher, my second, and was really grateful I had yoga too. And my friend Nancy, we lived in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and she lived right next door to me. We lived in these town houses. She would just say, Wendy, after you run, don't forget, you got to do 30 minutes of yoga. At first, she was really slick. She introduced me to, oh, this is just a stretching thing. This is a stretching thing. But of course, over time, I've learned it's so much more.
It's so much more, right?
The aerial yoga, how did you get into that?
There is a studio in Watertown, New York, which is about 90 minutes from here, that offered aerial yoga. And I had some other friends here, and we were like, let's go check it out. So we went, we took a class, and we went back and took another class. And I loved it. They offered a yoga teacher training for aerial. So I'm like, I think I'm going to go and do that. So I took the first one, the first level, and I fell in love with it. So I bought a hammock for my house. My husband actually installed it in the bedroom. So I just have this hammock hanging. It's actually right in the doorway to our walk-in closet. So yeah, it's so much fun.
So how did you decide you wanted to open up a studio?
That's a long question. I've lived in Canton my whole life. I grew up in Canton, and I went to school in Potsdam. And then Todd and I settled here in Canton. And I've been a vegetarian and a vegan for over 10 years. Okay. And Todd is not a vegetarian. Todd is very much a carnivore. So when we go out to eat, we will go out and he will order off the menu. And whenever I order, it becomes this long ordeal, Could I have the julienne salad with the meat on the side, which I give to Todd, and I don't want the eggs, and I don't want the cheese, and I don't want the creamy dressing. And, it's like this long process for me to order. So he'd been teasing me for a long time, saying like, you just need to open a restaurant. You just need to open your own restaurant. And I had no interest really in opening a restaurant or working in the restaurant industry. And then we started to put it together. There are certain things that I really like, certain things that I eat a lot. Whenever we travel, and our kids have lived all over from Oregon to Florida to Maine, we look for two things in every town, the health food store and a juice bar. We have a health food store in Canton. It's been here forever, Nature Storehouse. They're wonderful, but we've never had a juice bar. The more Todd teased me, the more we got thinking. Then we started to wrap it all into one. Like, what if we opened this place where we could do aerial yoga, where I could teach all the yoga that I wanted, and we could get healthy drinks, we could get smoothies, vegan food, and yoga. So that was the beginning.
That's awesome. What are you offering right now online for people to still be healthy and have different options?
So yoga studios are mandated to be closed, like gymnasiums or fitness centers. They're not allowed to be open right now.
In New York State, yeah.
So we put all of our classes that we're offering right now into the Zoom format. So I'm doing them live streaming through Zoom. There is an invitation to get into each class, so I'm still really careful. I want people to have signed a waiver. I want to speak to people first and then help them to find the right yoga class, that's right for them.
Good.
Ashtanga may not be right for everyone, or yin yoga may not be right for everyone. So I'm very available to people if they email. I get a lot of emails, a lot of Facebook messages every day from people looking for yoga at home. What kind should they do? So this week we've got 5 classes, okay, Monday through Friday.
Awesome.
So we have a yoga teacher training program that started in March. We do 1 weekend a month, and it's pretty intense. It's Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, but we are going to try and do it online. So I did reopen the juice bar after being home for a week. I opened the juice bar back up. There were only a handful of places that stayed open to serve. People can't come in and sit down and eat, but they can pre-order, come in and pick it up.
Yeah, us too in Alabama now.
So we have the full menu, everything, they can get all of the juices. We do juices, smoothies, and smoothie bowls.
Excellent. And they can order that online, and your website is?
At www.flyinglotus.yoga.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I actually have people call or text in the order. So I can give you our phone number. Texting is great. It's 315-854-1699. And here in the center, we have a number of Reiki practitioners. I want to say we have 5 different Reiki masters that are practicing here. We have a massage therapist, a couple of tarot card readers, an aromatherapist, like a lot of other holistic practices. Yeah.
Yeah. So you offer massage services as well?
We do. We have 1 massage therapist here. Yeah. I also offer Ayurvedic counseling and consultations.
Well, Kelly, I'm so excited for you. This is really exciting. I know we're going to get back on track, and everything's going to be open again. I have faith and hope.
Yeah, we have to. We have to have that kind of resilience and fortitude, and maybe it's because we live in the North Country. When we have 6 months of winter, you just have to know that spring is coming.
Well, and we're made of hard stuff.
We are made of hard stuff, for sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. This has been such a blast, and I hope to do a follow-up sometime this summer.
Excellent. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks. Good to see you.
You too. You too.
All right. Bye.